So the next part of a plant is pistil. So what is pistil? Pistil is the female reproductive organ of a flower. So what is pistil? Pistil is the female reproductive organ of a flower. We can see pistil at the center of the flower. Can you see here? So this is pistil. The center part is called as pistils. So stamens are male reproductive organ, whereas pistil is female reproductive organ. So stamens will produce pollen grains. So pollen grains are small microscopic body that contains male reproductive cell of a plant. Now we are going to see the function of a flower. So what is the main function of the flower? Flower helps in reproduction. So here in flower, so what is reproduction? It will give new birth to the another flower. So in this, what will happen is the flower has a sweet smelling liquid called nectar. As we all know, the insects are always attracts towards the nectar. So what will happen is the insects will transfer the pollen grains from one flower to another flower. So when it comes and sucks the nectar, the pollen grains are transferred from one flower to another flower. So this process is called pollination. So what is this process is called? Pollination. 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 So what is pollination? The process in which the pollen grains are transferred from one flower to another flower. So this is called as pollination. So what is pollination? Transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower. Children, kindly repeat the word wall after me. Stalk. S-T-A-L-K. Stalk. S-T-A-L-K. Stalk. Sepals. S-E-P-A-L-S. Sepals. Sepals. S-E-P-A-L-S. Sepals. Petals. P-E-T-A-L-S. Petals. P-E-T-A-L-S. Petals. Stamens. S-T-A-M-E-N-S. Stamens. Reproductive. R-E-P-R-O-D-U-C-T-I-V-E. Reproductive. Nectar. N-E-C-T-A-R. Nectar. Pollen grain. P-O-L-L-E-N. Pollen grain. G-R-A-I-N. Grain. Pollination. P-O-L-L-I-N-A-T-I-O-N. Pollination. Pistil. P-I-S-T-A-L. Pistil. P-I-S-T-A-L. Pistil. Children, what did we see today? We saw the parts of the plant and the functions of a flower. So what are the parts of flower? Stalk, sepals, petals, stamens and pistil. So what is stalk? Stalk is a stem which is attached to the stem. Sepals, it's a green leaf-like structure in a flower. Petals, as we all know, it is the brightest part of the flower. Stamens is male reproductive organ which produces pollen grain. Pistil, it is the female reproductive organ. So what is the main function of the flower? The main function of the flower is reproduction. So how it will happen? This process is called pollination. So what is pollination? The process of transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower. So this process is called pollination.